I would like to welcome you all in the last minute preparation and passing package for the subject basic electronics. This subject is applicable to all the streams which are comes under ECE, EEE, then instrumentation, etc. So let's understand the fundamentals and what are the fundamental questions which will be asked in the examination. Accordingly, we can prepare. So I promise you that if you follow these tips, 100% you will be getting not only pass mark, but I promise you above 60%. The first module is diodes and rectifiers. The major focus areas are you need to focus on the PN junction diode. How does it work? The forward and reverse bias characteristics. IV characteristics is very, very important. You may get a problem also. Then rectifiers. You should understand the working of rectifier, the half and full bridge rectifier, the advantages of full bridge rectifier over half bridge rectifier, and compare center tapped rectifier and like uh, bridge rectifier. Those questions also commonly asked. Then you need to talk about the filters. What is the difference between capacitor filter and a RC pi filter? So they will ask the individual explanation. So, explain the Zener diode characteristics. How the Zener diode will act as a voltage regulator. With the help of equations and waveforms, you are supposed to explain. Okay, where does it operate? You have to explain with a quadrant diagram so that your idea will be more clear. These are the focus area from the module 1. So let me continue. Few more important questions I would like to show you from the module 1. So the questions are number 1, explain the forward and reverse characteristics of diode. Very, very important. Describe full and half bridge rectifier with a suitable diagram. Working of capacitor filter. How does capacitor filter operate? How it is going to remove the noises? Then Zener diode. How Zener diode will act as a voltage regulator. So it works in the reverse bias condition. How it is going to control the voltage regulation. The smart tips I would like to suggest you memorize the diode circuit symbol and IV characteristics. Also, you have to calculate the formula. You have to remember the formula. V peak is nothing but root 2 into VRMS, or V maximum is equal to root 2 into VRMS. Then IDC can be written as the ratio of VDC by R. VDC means a DC voltage, and R is nothing but the load resistance. Then for RC pi filter, draw both the waveforms and formula. These are the few tips you have to follow before appearing for the examination. So I request everybody to write whatever I am pointing out. You can note down using pen and pencil so that things will be very clear. Later you can refer your notes and textbook which is prescribed by your class your course teachers. The module 2 is actually bijunction, bipolar junction transistor and the field effect transistor. BJT configuration, a common emitter, common base, common collector, input output characteristics. Very, very important. So you have to compare CE, CB, CC, okay, with respect to input and output waveforms. How BJT act as an amplifier. So what is Q point, load line? What is JFET? N channel operation you have to study. What is MOSFET? Like a full form of MOSFET, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. So you have to talk about like a drain characteristics, output characteristics, input characteristics. Okay, so you can prepare accordingly. Possible, try to work out some or two, one or two simple problems. They won't ask complicated level because in the third semester we'll be having EPC subject. Okay, electronic principles and circuit. At that time, you can study different type of problems. Time being, they will ask the basic questions only. The important question I would like to recommend you, BJT current amplification with the IB variation. Explain CC or CB characteristics. Okay, with the numerical example. Operation of JFET. Then draw the and explain load line and find the Q point. Okay, operating point or Q point. Smart tips I would like to suggest you. Know input and output characteristics of graph. You try to remember the graph. Difference between JFET and a MOSFET operation. Prepare a table. Then common emitter configuration, high gain, like a low input impedance. You try to compare the common emitter, common base, and common collector. Which configuration is most preferred? And also, like whenever you are plotting the characteristics, you have to mark which is saturation region, which is cutoff region, which is active region. Those points also you have to remember. Moving on to module 3, it is basically operational amplifier. You have to focus on ideal and practical op amp. What are the different type of parameters? Gain, common mode rejection ratio, slew rate, definition you have to remember. What are the ideal characteristics of operational amplifier you have to study? Configuration, how op amp acts as an inverting amplifier, how it is acting as a non-inverting amplifier. You try to study the formula of gain. Then voltage follower, how the what is a gain of voltage follower will be always one only. So how it is happening? You have to explain with the help of that gain formula. Applications, summing amplifier, integrator, differentiator. So try to remember the formula with a suitable diagram. Okay. Then important questions I would like to suggest to you. A block diagram of operational amplifier with the parameters. So how op-amp act as an integrator, how op-amp act as a differentiator. Whenever you are drawing circuit diagram and waveform is compulsory. Inverting amplifier you have to study how it will act as an inverting amplifier. You have to calculate the gain. Gain is actually 2 to 3 steps further. It will treat as a derivation. I request you to focus on the derivation. Also, I suggest you what are the ideal characteristics of operational amplifier. Gain you have to study like for inverting and for non-inverting it is 1 plus RF by Rn, for inverting minus RF by R input. Draw equivalent circuit, label input offset bias current. You try to study the definition of slew rate. Maximum rate of change of output voltage is known as slew rate. So try to correlate it with the ideal characteristics of operational amplifier. It is evergreen questions for every examination. Coming to module 4, it is digital electronics basics. You have to study the basics of digital electronics, study the number system, binary, decimal, hexadecimal, octal conversion. You try to convert how to convert binary to decimal and vice versa. A binary code to hexadecimal. What is Boolean algebra? Then you study about SOP and POS. You try to go for the theorems. Okay, the Boolean algebra theorem. Then refer the textbook of Morris Mano. You'll be getting a better information. Logic gates. Why the NAND gate is considered as universal gate. Explain why NOR gate is considered as universal gate. Those questions also very, very important. Adder circuit, half adder and full adder. Explain with the help of truth table. Truth table as well as realization. Try to follow up. Then the important questions I would like to suggest you in the next page. You can check out the important page from the coming slide. So conversion is very important, like decimal to binary, hexa, octal conversion. Try to have your own shortcut so that you can understand and you can write at any point of at any point during the examination. Implement Boolean expression using the gates. That's also important. Sum of product and product of sum with the example. Simple example only they will ask. Don't make it complicated. Implement half order using logic gates. The important tips I would like to suggest you: practice conversion tricks, especially like a fractional part. So why NAND gate is considered as universal gate? Explain the reason. Then what is the kernel of K-map? So two variable simplification you have to study. For higher order simplification will be studied in your EPC in the third semester. Okay. Right now this is more than sufficient. Moving on to module 5, it is a theory part, sensors and transducers. Then another one is communication. So what is transducer? Resistive transducer, capacitive, piezoelectric, thermal and optical transducer. Then block diagram of communication system you have to study. What is modulation? General block diagram of communication. What is the purpose of antenna? What is modulation? Okay, what is the importance of filter? Then capacitive and piezoelectric transducer. How it is going to convert one quantity to another quantity. I mean non-electrical quantity to electrical quantity. Whenever you are explaining the working, I request you to plot the block diagram. Need for modulation and what are the types of modulation. Then block diagram of radio transmitter and communication system. So those points you have to focus. Okay, so these are the important point you need to concentrate on module 5. And now the generally I would like to suggest you some important smart tips. You try to understand the transducer and the signal converter, then try to understand the modulation, helps to transmit over the long distances, then noises type, channel noise, thermal noise, etc., which are recommended from the module 5. Altogether, how to have a better strategy, how to apply the better strategy. Number one, first strategy I would like to recommend you focus on one question per module. At least it should be in a structured way. Whenever you are presenting an answer, try to add the waveforms, circuit diagram, equations, etc. Pick the easier question at the beginning. Practice diagrams and waveforms frequently, especially rectifiers, op-amp, communication system. You draw and practice, then revise the definition and a comparison till before entering to the examination. You have to keep on revising, otherwise definitely will forget, right? So these are the terminology. Maybe everything is new for you because after completion of your PU, okay, everything will be